We have set up the parameters in the core vision system, and it's now time to look at the restaurant settings. So let's log in, guest for the first time, agree with the terms and conditions. And you straight away get a message that this POS station is not yet set up correctly. Indeed, we have to first ensure that we set up in local settings which station is this. Is this the bar station or a restaurant station? Let's say it's the restaurant. Click Save and Apply. The next step is that we would like to have a very smooth configuration of the buttons. To do that, it is actually advisable to go to the setting of the restaurant, and although it is indeed a restaurant POS, put it first as POS Order and Pay. This will simplify your setup. Click Save, exit, and one more time log into the system. Again, guest. We come in, we agree, and now you see that there's a button on the screen called Start POS. Click the button Start POS, and we have nothing on the screen. It's empty, we have no items, no buttons. To create your first top bar menu, the one that appears here, you click the Vision button. We first have to enter what we call program mode. I type in a username that is allowed to configure a touch POS, in this case the supervisor guest. I enter and the system indicates that we're going into program mode. I click OK. I go to the top level section and I right click my mouse and a menu appears with New Menu. I click New Menu. I give the menu a name. For example, if this restaurant is called Picobello, I will put it right here. How many buttons does this top menu have? Let's say 8 in horizontal mode. That means they appear in the top like this. If I would use vertical mode, then the buttons will go across the side here. But let's go for standard horizontal mode. What is the width of a button? I would like to have them a bit wider than the height. So I'm going to overrule and I make them width 100 and the height is 80. I would like buttons to look dark blue. So the appearance is dark blue as the back color, and the fore color I would like to have white. If a button is not selected. If a button is selected, I would like to change the button color to a lighter shade of blue with a fore color again of white. If you want to see how it would look like, you can click the button here. This is how it would look like. Let's say that this is acceptable. My preference, I click the Save by clicking the green button here. And I exit the menu. The next question is this going to be the default top menu for the restaurant, for this billing group? I say yes. And surely my buttons have been created in the top. Now let's give one of these buttons a name. The first button I would make the starter menu button. So I put here starters. And do you want to overrule the width and the height? No, let's keep it all the same. Also the colors I will keep the same for now. I would like now to create this menu. So I click the plus button. The menu name is now called, let's say, starter menu. And in the panel, I would like to have the name starters. Sorry, my mistake, starters. Yeah? How many buttons would you like to have? Now, first of all, there is what we call a raw configuration. It's like a flow panel. That means every button is just, it will be appended until the next button. So you just have to say, I want to have 30 buttons or 36. You can also say, no, I want to have a certain dimension. For example, I want to have 5 rows and 10 columns. Now, let's take the situation that I would like to have 6 by 6. I would like to keep the colors the same, the width the same, the height the same. How does it look? It looks like this. Yeah? Okay, let's say that this is acceptable. I save it. I save the starter button with this top menu. I say yes, save this as well. And if I now click status, you see my first menu is appearing. Let's create the second menu, top menu item. For example, we would like to make the pizza submenu. So I right click menu item 2. I give the panel a header, pizzas. Width and height is the same, but possibly I might want to change, if it is selected, not it to be blue, but let's give it another color. For example, orange with 4-color black, so the text in black. Okay, let's say that this could be what I want. I can save this, but it straight away says, no, you have to put a submenu. Correct, I have to create a menu for the pizzas. So I call this pizza menu. Panel header, pizzas. How many buttons would you like to have? Or do you like, again, a table? Let's say that I would like to have a table of 8 by 8. Width and height, everything is the same. And I would like to have the selected back color, again, this orangey color. Sorry, I do it wrong. I would like to have the buttons like that, orange, with 4-color black. And if a button is selected in this menu, I would like to give it a different color. For example, the color light blue. Yeah, like this. So let's have a look how this looks. Yeah, I like this. This is for the pizzas. I click Save. Would you like these colors to be applicable to all the panels in this menu? Yes, please. Okay, it's done. I'm back to my top level. Yes, save the submenu pizzas with the top level button pizzas. Click Save. I go out. Now let's have a look what we get now. If we click Starters, you have its menu. If I click Pizzas, you get an orange menu. Again, I could have also changed the style of the buttons, wider, bigger. So for example, if I go to submenu item 3 and I right click this, I can say this is for pastas. I would like to have the same width and height. I keep this more or less the same, but if it's selected, I would like to have the pastas maybe in a greenish color. Yeah, that's green with white. I create the menu for pastas, so I call this pasta underscore menu. Obviously, you can take any name. And what should be in the panel shown? Pastas. Let's make the pastas a flow panel. This is different. That means it's not a matrix, but all the pastas will follow each other. Let's make 20 buttons. And I would like to have the unselected color, that greenish color. And if it is selected, I would like to make it a light color of green with the 4-color black. So how does this look? Like this. Let's say that I like this. Obviously, I can also change the width of the buttons. So I make this maybe a little bit wider. Yeah, 140. And maybe the height also bigger, 90. Okay. Let's have a look how this appears. I save it. I go back. Starters look like this. Pizzas look like that. Pastas look like this. As you can see, the appearance of the buttons is different. You can clearly see the difference. So it's up to me how I size the buttons. Also, you can change, if we are going to program the buttons, you can change the letter style. Bold, the size of the letters, etc. Let's make a drinks menu now. So I'll use the most right button, menu item 8. I right click and let's call this drinks. I will also change the color of the drinks, the back color. Let's make it this color. Yeah, that's nice. And of course I have to make the menu that is under the button. So I click the plus. I call this drinks menu, and the panel header is drinks, yeah, what will come in there. And I would also like to have all my panels in there to have, if they're not selected, the same color as the button itself. Okay, so this is good, and if it is selected, let's change the color to orange, for example. Okay, let's have a look how that would come. Yeah, that's good. Okay, now what type of menu is this? A flow panel. Again, all the buttons are just following each other, but there's no structure as such. So a new button will just be in the end added as a new button. Or do you want to have a predefined matrix? For example, 6 by 6, 8 by 8. Now, because I want to make coffee, alcoholic, non-alcoholic drinks and some wines, let's put 8 by 8. Okay, I now say yes to configure this, and I have a 8 by 8 panel setup. So save it again, I close it. If I now go to drinks, you see there's my 8 by 8 panel. I might opt to make the buttons a bit wider. I can go back to drinks and say, let's make the width 120. Okay, I've done that. I go here, I even do it here. So I make the top menu button bigger, but also all the panels bigger. Let's have a look how that looks. See, the button is wider, but also these buttons are wider. So I can individualize each button in the way I wish, and in the top, but also in the panels below. Let's now assign quickly a few drinks to the panels. I would like to do that from this panel onwards. So let's click this panel on the right. I say action button. Action buttons are buttons that have items in it that when I click them, automatically they appear in my billing list. So I click the down arrow here and I select Coca-Cola and I simply click the save button. As simple as that. Coca-Cola is in my grid. I also want to go to the second item. Again, I click action, the down button, 7-Up. You might have seen that Coca-Cola is not in the list anymore. That's because it was already selected. So I select 7-Up and I say apply. If I want to again repeat Coca-Cola for a reason or another, I can right click, action button. Now you can click show all. By clicking show all, the Coca-Cola comes back. But let's not do that. Let's select Fanta Orange. So I've got now 3. There's also a faster way to upload your items. You do that by holding down on the keyboard the Shift key and keep it down. You now right-click the panels that you want to assign items to. Let's say these 4. When I now leave my finger off the button, so I'm releasing the Shift key, a message comes. 4 buttons have been selected for assignment of items. Now I can again choose. Do I want to see only items that have not yet been assigned to a button? In that case, pending items. You want to see all the items, that means inclusive, for example, Coca-Cola, 7-Up and Fanta, then I use all items. In our case, let's go for pending only. I get now a selection list where I can select either all items or a selection of items. Well, I have selected 4 buttons, so either 4 or less I can assign. I cannot assign more than 4. So let's assign 4 items that are in the category soft drinks. So I could type in here non-alcoholic, and I see straight away, because this is my alternative group as per the setup of items, I can now select other drinks. For example, Fanta Passion, Coca Zero, soda water, and maybe Sprite. By clicking OK, automatically, in the same order as I selected them, they're coming in my grid. So you can do it very quickly by just saying select all of a certain group, and bring all the items in one go. Let me try to show you how quick that can be done for the pizza menu. I click the pizza menu, I select a certain amount of items, depending of course how many pizzas you might have. I now release it. It says 24 buttons have been selected for assigning items. I say yes, show me the pending items. I know I want to have pizza, which are the items that started with PZ. You see, all my pizzas in one go appear on my screen. I just select all and I say bring them in. And boom, all my pizzas in one go are in my menu. Similarwise, I do that for the pastas. Keep the shift key pressed. First press it down, then select where you would like them to be positioned. If I don't want, for example, this position, this one, and this one, I simply again right click to unselect them. So I've now selected 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 buttons. I release 12 buttons, show me the pending items. I'm now looking for pasta. So I think it started with PS. I select all of them. If it is less than the panels, it will still load them. But you see, it skipped the items that I did not select. So very quickly, I can upload all my items in my grids. Let's look at some other functionality, such as shifting a panel to a different position. Remember, right-click opens programming of a panel, but you can also use the Shift, Alt and Control key. Moving you do with Alt, so press Alt down and click the button that you want to move. Go to the panel where you would like it to be dropped and click that panel as well. Release the Alt key. It says now, you're about to move the selected button to a new position. Pesto is going to an empty position. Please select override the destination or insert at the position. What does it mean? If I drag pesto into this position, would you like then pesto to disappear from here and it will be put in this position, meaning that pasta alfredo and ravioli shift to the left, so then pasta will come in the position of pesto? Or would you like to override the pesto button and disable it, so there's nothing, and actually override this button? So override means where it was becomes disabled, everything stays in the same place. Let's just try it, let's see what happens. If I say override, you see pasta alfredo and ravioli stay where they are. Let's now drag it back again. So Alt key down, right click where it should be, release the Alt key and say override. Pesto is back. Now I'm going to do the same action again. Click the Alt key, select pesto, select where it should go, release it, but now I do an insert. What happens now is the whole menu shifts back, but pesto is where it was before. So let's do that with the buttons as we did before. So I'm going to reroute all the buttons. I'm going to put Alt down, pesto. I want the pasta alfredo to be in this position. And I say override. I select again by clicking Alt down the ravioli and I want to drop it, let's say in this position. Override. And I take the macaroni and cheese, Alt down, right click. I want it in this position, right click. Release the Alt key and override. Now you see, I've got them all here. So Alt key is actually shifting the positions. Disabling is also possible in a batch. Like we did already Shift for assigning items, Alt for moving items, you can also use the Control key. So if I don't press Control, right click is simply programming a key. But if I click the Control key and now I say pasta, pasta di mar and pasta alfredo, and I release now the Control key, it says 3 buttons will be disabled. Yes, please. I want to reassign them again in a batch. Click the Shift key, hold it down, select the buttons that you want to reassign, release the Shift key, say pending items. I'm looking for pasta, so PS items. These 3 were there, and quickly they're back. This is how easy it is. Let's assign some more buttons. Let's go to the drinks menu again. And as you see, this is an empty panel. At the moment it's disabled. So I right click this one and I make it a text header. Type in the text you would like to have there, for example, soda. And maybe I would like to make this a little bit bigger in text size. And the appearance should maybe not be this brown with this white, but maybe with just black. Because the background color will fade. So it will be like this. As I said, background color for text labels is not really relevant. But the fore color is, so black for example. I can for example also here now say, let's make also a header for beer. And I'll keep the same size, and also here the fore color I make black. And I say that's brilliant. Okay, let's assign also now buttons for the beer. So I click down the Shift key and I select where these beers should be. So I just select all the buttons. I say pending items. I type in my box here beer and I see I've got 4 different beers. Okay, so it fills those ones. It will ignore the other ones that are selected as long as you do not select more. Down here I can select maybe another one and I can say wine. Make it again 14 point. Again the fore color black. I go out. I keep my Shift key down. I start selecting. And let's have a look for potentially the wines that I have. Alcoholic. So that is a Merlot. And I think I also have the Sauvignon, the bottles. Okay, so that's all good. And that's about it for the time being. So, right, let's have a look at the top menu again. I still have these menu items 4, 5, 6 and 7. Let's also disable them. Because, as you can see, when I left clicked on it, there's nothing configured anyway. Oh, wait a minute, I still have also to do desserts. So I right click, I make a sub menu called desserts. I would like to give it again another color if it is selected. For example, for desserts, I would like to use maybe this gray button or this color. No, that's not so nice. Let's take it a yellow color. Okay, yellow with black. I think that is fair enough. And obviously we have to make a desserts menu. So desserts, dessert menu. The caption of the button should be called dessert. And maybe this can just be a flow panel of, let's make for the time being 10. I don't think we have more than 10 desserts. Okay, let's make it 15 then. And I would like to again have the unselected color the same as the button. So I do it like this. And if it is selected, yeah, it can be blue. Why not? So how would that then look? It would look like this. Oh, I forgot to put the black color here. So this is better. All panels, yes. So now, if I do this again, it will look like this. This is definitely okay. Save it, all panels, and close. Save the menu with the button, yes. And I go out, and now if I go to desserts, I get a flow panel. You see, flow panel is just flowing. If I, for example, add now, or want to change the dimensions of this button, or this submenu, I click on the right, I say update the submenu and make this now 20. I could even, if I want, make the next panels bigger. For example, 140 width. Yeah? I could even change the back color of these panels in blue. Or maybe not blue because we already have that, maybe orange. So I say OK. I say OK. Only the new panels should take this new definition. So I say new panels. OK. I go out. I save this. I go out. And you see, I can combine different sizes and shapes. It's entirely flexible. Now the next thing I still have to do is disable these menus that I'm not using. And I would have then first my starters, pizzas, but only on the end, at the end I have my drinks.